legends in studio, not just one, but two. Firstly, we are honored that they are able to grace us with their presence. I did announce on the show last night that they will be here, and we have delivered. They are here. We'll start with the man that scored the most goals in a season in domestic football in South Africa. 34 goals in that 1991 season. I know Collins Besuma had 35, but remember some of his goals were in continental football. And all Fani Madida's goals were here in South Africa. So that record still stands. A man who went on to Turkey, played for big clubs like Besiktas Football Kulub. How do they say it, Fani Madida? I remember you once said it at one of your events. There's a way that they pronounce it.
No, good evening, Tabitha, and good evening to the listeners. This time around, your pronunciation was not that bad. It is indeed Kulubu.
Kulubu.
Besiktas Kulubu.
Besiktas Kulubu. It's played in the big derbies against the Fenerbahces as well as the Galatasarays and the Joneses here. There's a lot to talk about, but you brought someone with you tonight. A man who was so good that his jersey has been retired. Jersey number 20. Not only that, but he has gone on to carve a remarkable life outside football, obtaining his PhD. Dr. Howard Freese is also here with us tonight. Good evening, Dr. Freese. Thank you for joining us on Radio 2000. It's a pleasure to see you, sir.
Good evening. Thank you very much for the invite.
I hope you're well.
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
I hope you are well as well.
Yeah, the whole of KZN is here. No, I'm good. I'm good. KZN is here. Escort is here. Matateni is also here. And most importantly, Kaizer Chiefs is here in the building tonight. And I know many of you want to talk about Kaizer Chiefs. We're very excited when we mentioned that Fani Madida and Dr. Howard Freese will be here with us in studio, and we'll get into that. But there's also an important initiative that Fani Madida has been doing over the years, which is the Didiza 34 Foundation. Coach, just remind us about the work that you're doing with the Didiza 34 Foundation. I've been fortunate over the years to see firsthand some of the work that you've done and the results of it.
Well, thank you very much for affording us this opportunity. We try to promote youngsters that are coming from far-flung areas and where they are not able to be seen by people that are recruiting these young players, whether it's for education or for sport. And we try to hook them up with the institutions like University of Pretoria. And those are the outreach programs that we embark ourselves in. So basically that's that. We just want to give back to the community, and we say it because we are also identified by some people who didn't come out of, like in Zulu they say Qimkowe. You know, we came out of being identified by someone. So we're just giving back to the community as well, and get other Fani Madidas, Howard Freeses, Dr. Kumalos that are out there.
And not only that, I know that education is a big part of it also, because you go to schools, you've been able to give back, whether it's computers or whatever they need in the schools also.
Definitely.
Why is that an important part for you?
Because if you don't look after an African child at a young age, they are lost in the system. The critical skills that they possess, and that's what we're here for, because the skills that we possess after being given a chance to play for Kaizer Chiefs, to play for Besiktas, to play for Bursaspor, to play for Antalyaspor. So you need then to use those skills now in post-football. So that's what we're going to elaborate upon. But basically, it is because of the gift that was given, God-given. So there is God-given talent that is out there, but it needs to be polished and given an opportunity.
And what many people might not know is that Fani Madida also auctions his jerseys. He auctions his jerseys. People buy them for big money. I was there at one of those events. And then he actually uses that money to give back. So have you roped in Dr. Freese now, or has he always been part of this?
Dr. Freese, we have a partnership with Value Add, which is led by Vikela Rankel. So Dr. Freese will touch on that one. So, but we did announce the partnership in our last fundraising event. Yeah. So he will then unlock what is it that we are doing with the value add.
Is that legendary lessons, Dr. Freese?
Oh, definitely, yes.
Tell us about these legendary lessons that you are doing.
Yeah, I think if you just look at Fani and myself sitting here with you tonight, we have a lot of history and a lot of success between the two of us. So what is this whole legendary program is about is to try to get legends together and to pass on all the skills that we've learned over the years. You know, I was just going through my my W's yesterday.
Yeah.
From 1985 to 1992.
28 trophies.
Yes.
Wow. Tabiso, wow.
Yes.
That's man.
No, this man, you've done your homework, man.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got 28 and 6, about 6 or 8 runner-ups. And in this course, during that whole period, I think I was coached I had about 4 coaches. And at every stage, at different stages you learn, you know, from different people. You learn different skills. You learn different disciplines. So these are the kind of skills and disciplines that Fani and I are trying to pull together. Just to let you know that over the past, say, 8 years, I've been doing quite a lot of research about why do football players go bankrupt as soon as they leave the sport. And the stat it's amazing. And some of us tell us that maybe after 2 years or 3 years, a famous soccer player can go bankrupt. So that's the kind of research I've been doing to find out, but why are players going bankrupt after they finish their careers? So together with Fani, we're trying to put all these pieces together and say, okay, how then can we prevent the footballers going bankrupt? And how can we use all this knowledge that we've gained over these 10, 12 years? But the only difference now is that we must put it back into business. How can we use our skills into business environments and get high performing businesses? So that's where this whole project is surrounding.
So then how does it work? Then how do you go around spreading this message?
What we'll do, we're going to have our first breakfast, I think on the 11th of April at Melrose Ark. And we started to advertise it. And this is going to be the first one. I think for the year, we're going to have about 8. And at each stage, we'll be inviting different sports people, different athletes with different experiences and different topics to speak on those different kind of topics. It's very important that we do this because soccer players have great skills and great knowledge. And over the years, when we leave football, we're leaving with a whole lot of knowledge that we're not utilizing for future sports people or in other areas where we think it's relevant. So we hope that when we leave here tonight, we're going to take off our tracksuits, Fani and I, and we're going to put on our business suits.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's been the biggest downfall, I think, in South African football. Because they always see soccer players that's only becoming coaches. You know, you must be, why don't you become a coach? Or why don't you go back and coach?
And not everybody wants to be a coach.
Yes. So Fani and I didn't see ourselves as coaches.
Yeah.
We saw ourselves as having more influence in a different direction. Like, how do we use the skills that we've attained in a business environment?
And then with these lessons, then are you targeting footballers? Are you talking to society as a whole?
No. What we're going to do, we'll be targeting businesses, but roping in the ex-footballers, the ex-athletes to say, come and share your experiences as to how the sporting experiences can be transferred to the business environment. For instance, discipline. For instance, winning and losing. I know how to lose. I can handle a loss. And I know how to win. So how do we use these skills that we've got about winning and losing, and how can businesses utilize our skills in improving their areas of business?
Okay, if you've just joined us, we're in studio with Dr. Howard Freese as well as Fani Madida, just telling us about what has reunited them after having met. I think you once told a story that you found him at Kaizer Chiefs when you went there, Dr. Freese.
Indeed,
yes.
Indeed. They are the ones that looked after me. In fact, I was Dr. Freese's roommate.
Roommate?
For 2 seasons.
Back in the days?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to talk about that after the break. I don't know if you have had any issues of going broke after your career, Fani Madida, because you didn't get your transfer fee when you went to take it. So you wouldn't have had those problems, eh?
I'm non-committal.
Okay, we're going to continue our conversation after the break. You can send us your voice notes on WhatsApp on 060-584-2250 if you want to speak to them directly. Jersey number 18 and Jersey number 20. You can call us on 086-000-2479.
This Easter, ShopRite gives you lower prices so that...
The name of the first caller, Doctor. One of is Dr. Kumali. No, there's one doctor that calls us here. Dr. Msibi, good evening. Is that you?
Good evening, Davido. Good evening, the legend. Dr. Howard Freese.
I'm fine, Benta.
Yeah, we have two doctors now, Dr. Howard Freese and Dr. Msibi.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
No, thank you very much.
And you have not healed, Dr. Msibi. Okay, Dr. Msibi, thanks. We hope you find healing sometime soon. You remember that game, Coach Fan?
I would think that
it would have been maybe the semi-final against Pirates.
Oh yes. Tebogo Moloi had
Tebogo
just
Moloi.
scored a goal,
Yeah.
and then I equalized.
Yeah.
Then I think we did beat them in the second
Yes.
Second leg.
Yes, Kara team just scored that goal. Yeah.
And you went on to beat Amazulu in the final.
Oh yeah.
Guess who scored? I'm sure he's listening. Come and go.
Max Mapunyane.
Okay, Dr. Msibi, thank you for that memory. Do you remember it very well also, Dr. Freese?
Oh, all the games against Pirates you'll always remember.
Okay, let's move on. Who's on the line? Is that Tebogo from Kimberley? Good evening. Okay, he's gone. Call us back, Tebogo from Kimberley or in Cape Town. Tsepo in Pretoria East, let's go to you. Good evening.
Good evening, good evening,
Go ahead.
Good evening.
Right.
Yeah, we're fine, thank you. How are you?
Number one. I'm one of the biggest fans for Kaizer Chiefs, and I believe that you gentlemen made my youth. I looked at you as I was growing up. I remember you guys picked when I was a teen, and I watched Kaizer Chiefs a lot. I criticize the current crop of Kaizer Chiefs players because of you guys. You are the main reason why I'm able to sit here and criticize the current crop. Because of, compared to you, I'm spoiled because of you, gentlemen. And I want to thank you for that,
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, Tsepo. I'm going to let them respond. We're not going to run away from that one. But I just want to take as many calls as we can, and then I'll note down the questions also. Khabo, good evening.
Evening.
Fani Madida. In my mind, I already see that Kaizer Chiefs, that Kappa pride shed. I'm another Forest supporter, but it's Kaizer Chiefs give us period problem. But yeah, those were great memories. And I also want to, for this opportunity, to appreciate and acknowledge the work that they're doing, coach football. It's very important. The level of football is quite tough and challenging. I hope that the level of that from these guys. Thank you guys for the memories.
No, you're welcome.
Thank you,
very much.
Kabo. I'll move on to Jimmy in Macau. Good evening, Jimmy.
Hi, Kabi, how are you?
No, we're good. Thanks. Go ahead. No, because I'm laughing because I've heard this voice. This man that like to talk about Lipara. You have found us now. Mm.
Yes, sir. I thi- it- Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that, Jimmy in Macau. Yeah, maybe let's start there, Fani Madida. People are concerned. They are worried. It's been that the drought continues here at Kaizer Chiefs. Firstly, as players who brought huge success to this club, how do you feel about where things are at the moment and the lack of success?
It's not nice, even if you are not involved. But it's not nice because us as South African, we brag about our teams in the shippings, in the events, gatherings, wherever. So it is not nice. But what the gentleman was asking, in a way, he is talking about. I will talk about preparations. There is something called pre-season. That's where you focus on a team building mission to build a player in totality, to build the winning mentality. You build quite a lot of things. The relationship amongst the players, so that when they start to play, you should see the synchronity in their movement and in the way you train them. They should be able to sustain the pressure and the intensity of playing for a big brand like Kaizer Chiefs. So the Chiefs, just like us, it needs a rebranding. That's what we are doing now, us, because we post football, so we're rebranding ourselves after football. So that's what a Chiefs mentality should be to the powers that be, because they need to go out now and face the reality. That's what the supporters there are saying. It is true. It's been a long time. That means my son, who is 15 years old, he has never seen Chiefs lifting up a trophy, a major trophy for that matter.
Okay, Dr. Freese, your thoughts here, and where should this rebranding start then? Because there's been a lot of talk that the players at the team at the moment just don't have the quality to play for a club like Kaizer Chiefs. What are your thoughts on what's been happening?
Yeah, just firstly, as Fani says, we do feel bad that the team is not as performing at that level that we know that it can perform. But to look at what's happening today, I think you need to go back maybe 2 or 3 years. The Chiefs have been going through a transition, not only in terms of the players, but also at the managerial level. I mean, Dr. Kaiser's pulled out a little bit now, so it's got the new generation coming into the management. So they're also coming with their own philosophies and their own styles of management. So I think at that level, we also need to give them a break to say, look, there's a whole fundamental changes taking place at Kaizer Chiefs, and we need that to embed itself. So I've given them 5 years. So currently now in the 3rd year of the 5 years that I've given them. Secondly, is that if you look at over the past 3 years as well, they've gotten a lot of players in. So if I could take you back, say, to the years that we played with Fani, 85 to about 1992, we had a solid core of players that played together for a long period of time. So we only brought in, Fani came in at one time, Doctor came in, Nsima Pique came in, Gardner Siali came in, but not at the rate at which Chiefs is changing the players right now. I mean, if you look at last year, I think they put about 9 players. At the beginning of the season, they put about 9 players as well. Then they've got a whole new technical team as well. So all this is, that's what Fani is trying to say. All these things, they need to come together at one time to gel. And once you can't get the gelling together, you're going to have problems.
But the question is, are the players at Chiefs now at the level required to play at a club like Kaizer Chiefs?
Yes, they do. Chiefs have a good set of players. But the problem is, Tabiso, do they have a team? Because you can have players, but not have a team. So what they're trying to work at now is converting these players that they have currently into a team, molding a team. And, once you start losing, Tabiso, it becomes a bad habit. So what happened over the weekend, I think it was on Sunday it was, when Yusuf Martin missed the penalty.
Against Golden Arrows, yeah?
Yes. Guess what all of them said to themselves? Oh God, not again.
The heads drop.
Yes, immediately once you get into the losing mentality, it's very difficult to get out of it. So they just need to put about 2 or 3 or 4 games together. And then you'll find that the whole dynamics of their mentality will start to change. Currently, I think you're right what you say. They just need a little bit of confidence to get to the next level, which I don't think they're stuck in one gear currently now.
Fani, you are also a coach, you're also a TD at Swallows also, and the questions are now being asked about the current technical team. One of the things that was raised when they joined was that there was no local coach in this technical team, and I can see now some of those who believed in them are starting to have doubts. There are those who believe that management should back them in the transfer window, that can turn things around. Have you seen enough to think that things can turn around under this technical team?
Well, there, Tabis, I will say, there is something they called evaluating performance after a season. And then you look at the matrix. There is a qualitative metric and there is a quantitative metric. So they need to focus more on the qualitative metrics. You look at the development structure at Chiefs. You check how many players are promoted from the development and they go up and play. You do have at Pirates players that are promoted from the development and they excel at the elite level, at the professional level. So those players, they come with the fundamentals of the concept of how Pirates play. So at Chiefs, you don't have that because the younger players that are coming up, they don't come with those fundamentals of the playing style, the playing concept of Kaizer Chiefs. You call it
the Kaizer Chiefs way.
A culture. It can't be Kaizer Chiefs way. It has to be their culture, so that they progress. And even the other players that are new, that the way they play, it will rub on them. But they don't have that, so they keep on bringing in new faces, which becomes a problem when you don't have person who will be a link technically between the junior team and the senior team.
Dr. Freese, earlier on you spoke about the lessons that you've learned from football and what you've learned from the different coaches. Which were some of those coaches? Maybe a Jeff Butler, for example. What would you have taken from a Jeff Butler?
Oh, Jeff Butler was cruel.
That's not a good thing.
No, looked at me so cruel in a good way. Because Jeff Butler, he was harsh when he got to tactics. He had a winning mentality. And he made sure that all of us had the same framework or frame of mind whenever we went into the games. Even if we looked at a guy like the late Ted Dumitri, I think he was the one who set the foundation for us to win. And Jeff Butler just took it further. Jeff Butler was a serious disciplinarian, Tabiso. If he gave an instruction, you would carry that instruction to the T. And he was not scared to address a player, immaterial or your status or your fame. He could talk to you and guide you. So, and if you just didn't perform, Jeff was never scared to pull you off. He'll give you one chance, second chance. If you're not performing, he'll pull you off. And I think that's what made him a great Chiefs, because he was able to get the respect of the players because the players knew whatever he taught us, we were able to implement. So I think that was the discipline that Jeff brought about at Chiefs.
Coach Fani, yeah, you want to add to that?
Yes, I think then you see that's what we're talking about, aligning the skills that we learned in football with business. So high performing companies, that's what they do. They take decisions now. They don't bother whether you are Fani Madida who is scoring goals or you are Dr. Kumalo who is dribbling and put a ball between other people's legs, players. He didn't care about that. Yes, he didn't care about that. If you don't follow the instructions, then you are in trouble.
So it's important to take decisions.
Of course,
whether
to take decisions.
they hate or not.
Yes, and you shouldn't look at the face of that individual. No, be impartial and take the right decision.
Just like the coach that played you at wing back in Turkey.
I didn't bother to go and ask him.
Gordon Milner, what was his name?
No, not Gordon. Gordon Milner was from England. This one was from. He's late now. Christopher Daum. He was from Germany.
Yes.
So because you are a player, you are there to make a difference. And by the way, I was the only first African player to play for Besiktas. Even worse, that I was the only black player in the league. So I had to perform with my best,
regardless of where they put you.
Of course.
Okay, we're going to take another short break. We have so many voice notes here that we're going to play. 0605842250. We're speaking to Fani Madida about the work that they're doing as the Didiza 34 Foundation alongside Dr. Howard Freese and the legendary lessons that they will be imparting. The event, you said it's next week, right, Dr. Freese?
Yeah.
Next Saturday.
The 11th of April.
On the 11th of
yes,
April.
At Melrose Arc.
Yeah.
From between 8 and 10.
Okay, we'll share more information before we go, but we'll take your voice notes after this break.
Cricket, soccer, you name it. This is the best sports show, my brother. And I hope one day in which you win an award for best sports presenter. I really wish that for you. I love what you do, my brother. I love it.
Good evening, Tabiso, and good evening to the legends there in the studio, and good evening to the 2,000 listeners. First, I'd like to congratulate Mamelodi Sundowns and waiting for the big game that is coming. So, Tabiso, I'd like to compliment you, my brother, for having those two legends in the studio. And I'm hearing that Howard Freese is now a doctor. That's very great, and it's very good for the young ones to say, I cannot play soccer, I need to also study. And go Madida, I will shine at the Rodman Lavang Kosh. Only about the Chiefs and Pirates Vengas, good yo, Madid, you'll faga pagat. Siabong witness there's a bomalum. Thank you. This is Joe in Soweto.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, Joe. I don't know if you were around in 1992 for that heartbreak of the Coca-Cola Cup final. From 2-0 down. These guys came back and they won 3-2. Hey, coach, you remember that game? I'll always remind you.
Swallows.
Biggest Pirates from 2-0 down, and you went to win 3-2. I think Ace Kusa also scored in that in that game. Oh,
it was a tough game.
Yeah, but we won't forget the 5-1 also. Who was there?
Ellis Park Stadium.
Ellis Park Stadium.
3-2, yes.
Who was there for the 5-1 in 1990?
I was there.
I was there. Two Peters was Pirates. Yes. Helman Mkelele just joined them from Cosmos. Yeah. No, they hammered us that day. They hammered us. Yes.
And just to say, after that game, we lost a lot of money.
Why?
Bonuses. The bonuses went with the 5-1.
But Dr. Freese, on a serious note, there was someone that is surprised that you're a doctor now. Just tell us about your PhD, what you were working on and what it was about.
Yeah, no, thanks, Tabiso. Tabiso, when I first started playing football, I didn't think football would take me as far as it took me. And just personally, there was always an elephant in the room for me. And that elephant was what would happen to me should my career come to an end, whether it would be through an injury, through unable to make it in the team, whatever the case might have been at the time. So academically, I said, no, this is the way I've got to go. So as soon as I came up from KZN, I first did my teacher's diploma I said, no, I can still do it. I'm playing football. The football's playing for my study. I said, no, okay, let me carry on. I then went on to do my junior degree at Wits University, my BA. I said, no, but football is paying for this. Let me just continue. Then I did my B.Ed, my Bachelor of Education. And from there, it just started rolling on Tabis. I just couldn't stop reading. Because, one day Tabis, I were playing at Orlando Stadium. And as we came into the ground, I saw one of my heroes there. And it was sad to see the guy, what had happened to him post his football career. And that for me was an encouragement to say, listen here, you can't stop now.
Who was that?
No, I can't tell you.
You don't want to mention the name?
No.
Okay.
It would be unfair for the guy because he was my hero. And I would like to mention his name, but seeing him that way spurred me on to carry on to study. And I worked very hard, Tabiso. I used to teach in the morning. 4 o'clock was training with Kaizer Chiefs. At 8 o'clock at night, between 8 and 10, it was my studying time. So at one time, Tabiso, I had 3 jobs. So I can't see, Tabiso, today, why our youngsters can't carry on with their education. I mean, a soccer player only works 10 hours a week. And on a weekend, he only works 90 minutes. So tell me, how many hours a day? Normal working people, Tabiso, work 45 to 48 hours a week. A soccer player only works 10 hours.
So there's time.
Tabiso, you can't tell me the people are too busy not to study. And it's a shame, Tabiso, when you look at our famous players after 2 or 3 years and you meet them, they become bankrupt. So for me, that was it, Tabiso. I didn't want to face the same fate as the old players. I had to learn from them to say, guys, you know what? In fact, Tabiso, when I joined Chiefs, it was myself, Fani, Siama Pike, and Dr. Kumalo. We were all studying at the same time.
I was about to say that group, because Siama Pike studied law.
Yes.
Dr. Kumalo is a doctor, so...
and we told ourselves, I told the guys, I said, guys, you know what? This career is very, very short. You can be famous today, tomorrow you're down in the doldrums. I said, guys, let's make it a point, the 4 of us. We must not stop the study. We must pursue
How do you feel about your jersey being retired?
Oh, it's an honor that anybody can give you. When they retire your jersey, Tabiso, it's a great honor because people's jerseys get retired for different reasons. For instance, my jersey was retired for one reason and Doctor's jersey was retired for another reason. And so when the chairperson calls and say, listen here, we want to honor you for all that you did for the team. And in honoring you, we like to retire your jersey. Tabiso, it's a moment that every player looks forward to. I mean, currently in South Africa now, there's only about 5 jerseys that have been retired.
Yeah, the other ones I Orlando Pirates also.
Yes, and I think one at Stellenbosch now with the unfortunate
Yes, with the player that passed away. Yes. Fani Madida, I'm just going to give you the last word here because we're going to cross over to Algeria also to catch up with Orlando Pirates. But just for those who want to attend, what do you hope they get out of these legendary lessons?
Well, probably the skills that we've used to be a success, and whether they use themselves or they use them in the business place, because we come from a high performing state, football. So we just want to say those skills should be used by business. Try to align what is happening in business and what is happening in football, like recruitment. So in business they recruit you with the hope that you will be a success, whether you are a sales rep or not. But in football, they follow you for months before they sign you.
And they never forget you in football, Dr. Freese. I hope you are reminded of that tonight. People never forget how you make them feel. We're going to have to leave it there just because of time, but I've got a lot of information about the executive breakfast, so I'll give you all that information and how you can get your seat there because seats are limited. Just stay with us. We'll give you that information just before the end of the show.
Shop Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. with Tabi Yusuf on Radio 2000.
We are hoping to cross over to Algeria. We just have a connectivity issue, just like we did yesterday. Pirates have just arrived at the stadium ahead of their match against MC Alger, who are the log leaders in Algerian football right now. Have only lost 1 in 20 matches. They won the league by 12 points last season. They didn't win it before since 2009. They've won Champions League in 1976. So they're a solid team. And most interestingly, in their group, they only conceded 2 goals. So it shows you how stingy they are and how defensive they are. But they don't score a lot of goals also, because they only scored 4 in those 6 group games. But as we said earlier, before the show when the show started, I think Pirates should also be confident, because they've had a very good CAF Champions League campaign so far, finishing unbeaten in the group alongside Asfa was the other team from Morocco that finished unbeaten. Okay, while we try and get that connection back, I think we'll use this time once again to continue with the legends. Fani, I'll go back to you because we didn't go enough to your days in Turkey. I mean, you were the first one to go over that side. What lessons have you learned from being in Turkey that you are now using in your daily life also?
To be resilient.
Oh, to be resilient.
And to
I've heard you say that before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to be positive. And try to focus in whatever the objective that you've put yourself into. So don't lose sight. Just focus on it. Then you will get there. And to be patient as well. Just like how Orlando Pirates, Sundowns are doing it. They are very patient. Sundowns, you can say it's obvious they are going to win, but Pirates very, very patient. And good luck to them, by the way, tonight.
Oh,
because they are representing
did you just say that?
our country.
Kaizer Chiefs legend. Did you just say good luck to Pirates?
Because they are representing our country.
Yeah, this is not Bafana. Dr. Freese, on that note, why do you think Sundowns are so far ahead of everybody? And does it shock you at how the other clubs have been left behind, considering where you guys come from and how it was back in your days?
Yeah, it does. It doesn't shock me that they're doing well, because I think Sundowns really do a whole lot of homework before in their recruitment strategies. I once heard Peter saying that to recruit someone at Sundowns sometimes can take them over a year. And they are very patient. And also at Sundowns, you find that they were very persistent in that they had one coach over a whole number of years. Like Peter was there for quite a number of years with his technical team. So in the end, they had a good understanding of the brand and the kind of football that they wanted to play. So whoever came to Sundowns, they already knew the kind of play they want, the way they wanted him, and how we should play.
And that's what's been key to their success.
Yes.
And just a word on Howard Freese and his achievements in coaching. How do you describe that man?
No, that man loves football. Coach Allen. No. That man will go to the ends of the world to play football. I mean, like right now he's in Morocco.
Yeah.
He's with Coach Rolani. And I'm very happy for them that they've turned the corner. They've started quite shaky at the beginning. So they are starting to put some games together now. I think they're in the next round of the cup there. And they're lying third with the... thinking that they can make to second, and we're just wishing them well. But speaking about my brother, that man loves football. Tabiso, that guy
from a young age,
always,
it was just about football.
Only about football.
Did it run in the family?
In our family, we were about 5 professionals.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So I came from a very football-orientated family. My 2 elder brothers, elder than Alan, Colin and Ronnie. Then Alan, Trevor, my brother, played for Chiefs at one time. And then, I was a baby in terms of the family. So we came from a very talented, I should say, footballing family. So it ran in the family, the football and sport.
Yeah, and it's a casini, like they say these days in the Betway Premiership. Coach Fani, can we see you back in the tracksuit now? Are you swapping the tracksuit for suits now? Don't you miss the smell of the grass?
I do miss it, but not that much. I'm much more passionate about coaching the coaches to be an instructor, because you need to finish the cycle of football. You know, you start by playing, and then you retire. Now you need to close it by being a head. Now coaching these young coaches, because they watch a lot of YouTube and all that,
Yeah.
and they are no longer themselves. Now people are very much pretentious now. They are not organic, you know, because when you are organic, you will know that in South Africa there are skills. So those skills, they need to be used effectively for the team, not for individuals.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for joining us, Coach Fani Madida, Dr. Howard Freese. It's been a pleasure catching up with you, and so many people are happy about the work that you're doing, especially the legendary lessons. They're having that executive breakfast, as we've said. Go to the Didiza 34 Foundation page. That's where you will find all the information about the work that they are doing with Value Add, as well as the Didiza Foundation and Dr. Howard Freese. We have to leave it there because of time. Unfortunately, connection not connecting to Algeria, but we will bring you that game live on SABC1. Pirates up against MC Algier, kickoff at 9 p.m. It's time for news and the award-winning Life, Love and All with Mapasaka Mukwele.
Aus! Danke,